Those words are how good it is to be together, and indeed, this is one of our first, not our first, but definitely one of our first Shir Tikvah in-person events, and how good it is to see all of you. Some of you are new faces with the little number 0. How many years have you been here? And some of you are number 20-something faces, and we are equally excited to be with each of you. Our ice cream truck is going to be here throughout Havdalah, so if you are feeling hot and like you haven't had enough ice cream, I think that's a solid life decision. So I'm just telling you that it's here, and we're delighted you're here. I'm Rabbi Carrie, for those of you who don't know. This is not Beth. This is my very good-natured husband, David. Yay, indeed.
This is not my day job. Might be a little rusty.
You're right. So Beth couldn't be here. She's with family. She sends her love to all and is so wishing she could be here. For those of you for whom this is your first Shir Tikvah experience, I'm telling you, come back and sing with Beth. Sorry, babe.
It's true, though. She's better.
But we are going to sing. We're going to do Havdalah. We're going to say goodbye to our time together. Going to answer just a couple questions about Shir Tikvah, anything we can do to be helpful. You all haven't eaten enough, I can tell, because there's still snack food on the table. So help yourself. This is a very informal chance for us to gather at the end of this time in this beautiful space, hopefully beating the rain before it comes.
And I'm Bailey Starr. I'm the education director. And
exactly.
We are going to be back in person this fall at the Ambrose School. We're very excited. It's been a long time since we've seen everybody. We start on September 12th. And we're so excited to welcome all these new faces and people returning. It's just so nice to see everybody. If you have any questions, you can contact me. My contact information is on the website, or feel free to just ask me today or after we're done.
So who's ready? Who knows what Havdalah is? That's a question. Sherry Rose. Sherry Rose. Who knows what Havdalah is? No pressure.
Yeah, you guys go on.
No? All right. Well, Havdalah is... Oh, we have an answer. Yeah, what's Havdalah? It ends Shabbat. That's exactly right. Tell everybody your name, because that was such a brilliant answer. This is Talia. She brilliantly answered that Havdalah ends Shabbat. It is a great way to say goodbye to Shabbat. Now, when does Shabbat usually end?
Friday.
Friday is when it starts. That's exactly right. And so it ends on?
Saturday.
Right. So if it starts on Friday, it ends on Saturday. It goes a whole day. But does it start first thing in the morning, Friday morning? No. Wait, when does it start? I'm confused.
In the night.
It's in the night? So then how do we start Shabbat?
No. By lighting a candle. It's dinner time.
Start Shabbat by lighting a candle, and we eat what? I just heard something. We eat challah and dinner sometimes, right? And we sing all sorts of songs. And then how do we end Shabbat? Yeah, Zachary, tell me how we end it.
I forget.
You forget. That's a great answer. Does anybody want to help Zachary? Oh, Rose became bat mitzvah this year. She is going to tell us how we end Shabbat.
You end it by lighting like the Havdalah candle, which is basically a braid.
Aha. So it's not the same as the Friday night candles, right? It's braided. It has to have multiple wicks. This one has more than I can count, maybe 7. I like 7. What else do we do, Rose?
And then you smell spices.
Why do we smell spices? Anybody know? Anybody?
Because we have.
Because we have to, because that's what tradition says we do. Absolutely. That's exactly how the rabbis wrote it, by the way. But let's make our own story about why we sniff delicious spices. Anybody want to tell me a story about this? Yeah, tell me. Looks like your name is Ruby. Is that right? Tell me, Ruby. Oh, yeah, that's okay. What happens when you smell something yummy? It looks like some of you are eating something yummy right now. What happens when you smell something yummy? You eat it? You might want to eat it?
You get hungry.
You get hungry? You sort of wake up a little, right? So at the end of Shabbat, it's been a long day, and we sort of want to wake ourselves up because we have a lot of work to do in the week ahead. We got to go out there, and we got to learn, and we got to work to make the world a better place. And so we smell spices to say, all the good energy that we found in community, we're going to bring with us into this week ahead. And we also bless what is usually filled with, it's not right now, I admit. Grape juice or wine. Exactly. Grape juice or wine. And why do we go with grape juice or wine? Yeah.
Because there's like
The symbols of grapes. Yep, absolutely.
and I forget what it is. But what if it's not grape?
Okay, what if it's not grape juice? This is a great Talmudic discussion. Can you do Havdalah over something other than grape juice? Or wine? I would say so. What do you all think?
I do water.
Apple juice. Now here's the question. So the rabbis say you can do it over anything delicious, but not water. Why not water?
Because water is plain.
Exactly, because water is plain, and this is a moment about making it fancy. Not fancy like, oh, my fancy is closed, but fancy like, oh, this is special and worth noticing fancy. And so when we say blessings to start Shabbat and to end Shabbat, we bless something sweet, like grape juice or wine. Often in my house, if we haven't done our shopping completely, it's OJ, because that's what's available. But whatever you have, you could do. Now, does anybody want to sing along with David and me when we do these blessings? Yeah? Okay. I think we should have one per crowd. Anybody have any questions about Havdalah? No? Has anybody, let's raise our hands this way. Has anybody done this before? Anybody done Havdalah? Is this anybody's first Havdalah? Because that's a Shehechianu moment. That's a great moment to try something new in community. All right. You've done it before? All right. You too? You too? That's awesome. So now I have a question then. If you've done this before, when we hold up the juice or the grape juice, do you have anything special to drink?
Usually it's just milk because we love milk.
Milk is one of the favorites in my house. So what you would do is if you have a cup, when I hold up my cup, you're gonna hold up your cup and toast me, okay? If you're holding up a water bottle, that's good choice. It's hot out here and it's humid, so make good choices, all right? Now, we're gonna pass these around when it's time, but when the spices come around, you're gonna make a big, deep, it's harder through your mask. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit harder to smell through a mask, which is kind of the blessing of the mask, right? That's why it works. But you're gonna see if you can get a whiff of something that smells sweet. And this is the tricky one. When I hold up a candle, if it was dark out, what you would do is you would hold your hand out towards the candle, right? And you'll see me do this, and then I'll go like this. I'm actually looking to see the light in my fingers when I do that. It's a funny thing I'm doing that says, I see this light of this candle, and it means I'm ready to go do the good work of the week. Okay, so you think you can do those parts with me? You can toast me if you got something to drink. You can smell spices. And by the way, if you have like watermelon or Smart Pop or Skinny Pop or Pirate's Booty, all that has a smell too. So you can take a sniff of whatever you've got on your blanket. And then we'll bless the candle. Where did my matches go?
Right there.
Okay. Yeah, will
gonna
you
really
hold the
light
candle?
that?
I really am gonna light it. What I don't know is it gonna stay lit outside for a whole series of lies? I don't have the answer to that. You might have to imagine a candle. Something sweet to drink. Now take a sip, even if it's water. If you have something that smells, take a sip of that. Skinny Pop. La 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei me'orei ha'esh borei me'orei ha'esh ya 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 da 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 ya da ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da ya da da Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol hamavdil ben kodesh lechol yada yada da 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 yada yada da 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 yada da 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 yada yada da da. All right, now the candle sizzle is the sound of Shabbos leaving. And so I'm going to ask you all a question, which is what's the first sound you hear after Shabbos leaves? Okay? So listen for the sizzle and then listen for the very end of the sizzle. And then listen to what follows, okay? You ready? Anybody hear anything?
The wind blowing.
The wind blowing. What did you hear, Zachary?
Why do you dip it in wine or grape juice
Yeah.
instead of water?
Instead of water? Well, usually because there's wine or grape juice in here, but if you had water available, you could do it in just plain water. The idea is just you put the candle out in a liquid. It's an excellent question. What did you hear? Breathing. Yeah, the sound of your breath as this new week starts. Anybody else hear anything good? I heard the crinkle of a delicious snack bag, and I thought, I'm ready. Uh-huh.
I heard the leaves.
You heard the leaves. What a beautiful way to start a week with the leaves. And Moshe, what'd you hear?
I put my nose up with that.
You forget? That's okay. If you remember, will you tell me later? Okay, perfect. Anybody else hear anything? So when we hear, oh yeah, is.
I hear the wind. People's feet moving along the grass.
Oh, think about how quiet it has to be to hear people's feet moving along the grass. Think about that. Yeah. Maya, did you hear something?
The water.
The water, because we're near this beautiful pond. How incredible. Ruby, what did you hear?
I heard a grill.
Tell me that again.
Drill?
A drill? A grill. Is somebody cooking dinner? Are they inviting me over? That's my question. So with all of these sounds of what might be the very beginning of the best week ever, right? Because each week has the possibility to be the best week ever. We sing the words Eliyahu Hanavi, which reminds us that there's always hope ahead of us in the week ahead.
Eliyahu
Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Adilade, Bimhera Beyamenu, Yavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Adiladi.
We just want to stand next.
Oh, we would
Please.
love to have you
Yeah,
stand next to
thank
us. Anytime you want to come stand next to me at any service, that's a bonus for me. My kids have gotten a little too big for it, but Amy and I were remembering how my older used to run up the aisle at the end of services, and I would, at the end of the last service, lead it with Ashlyn on my hip as we were singing the last songs of services. So anybody who wants to join me makes me feel less lonely. We have one more thing to wish each other, okay? It's a really important thing. It's a good week, right? Yes. Oh, and I got a kitty cat and they didn't know, but I'm really a cat person. Hello. Hi, kitty. So we are going to wish each other a Shavua Tov, a good week. Tov is the word for good, and Shavua is the word for week. Did I do that in the right order? Yes.
Shavua Tov, may you have a good week.
May you find happiness you seek.
Shavua Tov, may your week be fine.
May it be as sweet as the Sabbath wine.
The twisted candle brightens our hearts as together we watch the Sabbath depart. We smell the spices, we taste the wine as the stars in the sky begin to shine. Shavua Tov, may you have a good week. May you find the happiness you seek. Shavua Tov, may your week be fine. May it be as sweet as the Sabbath wine. We say goodbye to a special friend as another Shabbat has come to an end. Shavua Tov are the words we speak to say may you have a happy week.
That is deep.
1, 2, 3. Shavua Tov, may you have a good week. May you find the happiness you seek. Shavua Tov, may your week be fine. May it be as sweet as the Sabbath wine.
I can't go that low. There's no way.
Shavua Tov.
Woo! Have a great week, everybody. Thank you to Dee.